Hi, Ryan. It's really good to see your video. I think you should be basically pretty proud of this. When you're running in here like this, he's kind of out of the hackamore just a little bit. I'd like to see you ride with your legs just a little bit more. If you get to watching this and you're watching your rundown, right here, I'd like to see that colt just a little more like, see how he's out and you're sitting behind the motion really nice, but see how your legs are disconnected with your horse. I'd like to see you a little more around your horse right there, and don't let that horse quite lean out onto the hackamore quite like that. As you can see, it'd be a really hard for this horse to go from the position he's in to rounding his back in the stops. And so, ride him up into the hackamore just a little bit. Don't let him get a hold of it, but keep him flexed at the pole a little more, with your legs around him a little more in rhythm with the horse. And then when you stop, you sat good, but see, it was kind of like all just off the signal of your seat. And I think if you used your feet, you'd see a huge difference in the stop. So you get that stop, and then you get to this position right here. And if you watch this right here, see how bent you got him, and you're really not letting his shoulder come enough, and his shoulder's hanging out pretty far. So you got his nose to the inside really nice, maybe a little overdone, but his shoulder is sure dragging behind him, you see. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure you're bringing your outside rein just a little more, and make sure the shoulder of that horse is coming. So when you start with a little stumble step like he did, you're going to not be able to clean it up quite as quick. So here we go again. So you get to that stop, and it wasn't horrible, um, you know, minus half stop, and then you start your turn. But yeah, see, you got so much bend on him, and then you finally get a rhythm going. But see, the reason it got going good after a minute was that he finally, his shoulder caught up to his head. So you got to use a little more outside leg and make him come. And again, you let him lean into your hands and you ride him up there. And you didn't really ride him to the stop. You were just a little too cautious right there. Shake him off the hackamore and make sure you got him. And this way he bends the same, but he follows with his shoulder a whole lot better to the right. And so that's, a 0 to a plus half turnaround. Then you go to this stop, and again, like right there, that colt wants to stop. You're just letting him, like, if you watch it careful, again, you see, watch this, right there. You see how his neck, he never gave at the pole right there. If he gave at the pole, he'd give it at the back better, and then he'd round into that turn. Another thing you're doing is you're rushing everything. Slow down just a little. Like right here, you could have sat a second, then you could have turned and sat a second, then you could have stepped off. You don't want to teach a colt to get nervous in the pen by moving too fast, especially at this stage of this horse's career. And as you can see, he's just a tick stiff in the hackamore loping that circle. So, again, he could be a little softer in the hackamore. There's a couple things you could do. I'd like you to call me sometime so we could talk about some technical training things that I don't want on video, that I can help you with, getting that colt off the bridle. You let his shoulder drop a little bit. You're just a little anxious again. If you watch that, you come around here, and when you got him set up, you don't have any left leg on him whatsoever. So you're straightening him up with your hands and not your leg. So I would have, in this right here at this point, I would have my left leg against him, okay, to the point where he starts his left arc and his shoulder stays to the right here. And so when you do, you kind of end up kind of quick changing him. So he kind of quick changes, drops his front, and you're a hand enough that he's balanced enough. But I do my big fast, then it's really cool to be able to come back and change at the same time. His left circle looks really good until you get to this spot over here where you change out a lead behind, which is a 2-point penalty. So he comes around here and slips out behind right there. So he slips out and comes back. So you're going to minus your circle, and then you're going to have a 2-point penalty there. And then you come across and you look like you had a little more leg on him with your right leg, and you changed him in a straighter line, which, that was a good lead change, okay? And then when you go to this last rundown, if you watch careful again, now what I'd do is I'd make sure I would be riding him a little bit around this circle. I'll show you, watch this. Come around this circle, and right here you've got him tipped a little to the inside, which is okay. I mean, if he can handle that and not be dead straight, that's all right. But right here, right there, you should be doing something with your left hand. Okay, so your inside hand is the direction hand, but your outside hand is the collection hand. So your legs need to get in gear. See, your legs are in excellent position right here. So if you would have played with your left hand a little bit, and if he would have bowed to that hackamore just a little bit, it would have been a lot cooler rundown. Then you could have sat back and gone on. Instead, now you're kind of chasing him with your hands just a tick, and he's sort of leaning into it. And he wants to stop, but if you watch it, you can see that when he does this stop, he gets, let's see if I can stop it right there. So your position is really good. Your hands are good. I think you're a super rider, but because of the stiffness in that horse's poll, you end up stopping, and he's bracing with his front feet too much, and that means that maybe you didn't spend enough time like stopping him with one rein and then pulling him around and making sure he stays soft enough in that hackamore. So you can see that spot right there. It's not necessary. Your timing was just a tick off too. So when you're running to that stop, you want to kind of come around there. Let's see if we can go again here. Hang on. We come around that lead change is good. You set him up good. You change really nice. Your hands are spectacular. You come around right here, what I'd have, you got a tick of an inside arc, which is good. Right here, I'd be rocking my legs a little and messing with my left hand just a little and get him off that hackamore. A little more pre-preparation too, and then I'd ride with my legs a little more, and then I'd sit. And you sat good, but see, you didn't give. So if you fix those couple of things, he'll be good. Just remember, if he has a tendency in that left lead to change out, you want to make sure he's real straight. So when he comes around here and he comes around here, if you would have been like in the second circle, working with your right rein a little more, okay? Not here, because this looks good. He's guiding good. He's steering good. He's between the reins good. He kind of bobbled just a tick right there. And you could ride with your legs a little more. Now right here, if you just kind of mess with your right rein just a little bit and keep his hip up under him a little more, he wouldn't do that. And remember, there's the out gate, okay? And you got to protect that part of the run where you don't have those kind of bobbles. So fix that left turnaround, get that shoulder to come, get him off that hackamore a little, make him a little lighter. Maybe give me a call on the phone at 602-361-8803. That's my private cell. And I'll talk to you a little bit about it. But basically, really good, Ryan. Keep it up.